We were discussing about the uh, coding of moving pictures, how it is compressed. Basically, MPEG standard. MPEG 1 we had seen, and MPEG 2 is an interlaced version. It supports interlacing. The frame is divided into two fields, and interlaced scanning is permitted in MPEG 2. So only MPEG 2 is of interest to us for TV broadcast. MPEG 4 is advanced standard. These are used in digital video broadcasting, and we will see some portions remaining of this MPEG and then move on to this modulation. So MPEG 4 10 is one standard, and it is also referred to as H.264 AVC. This means that the two names are there. One is coined by this ITU-T and other one by ISO. So ITU-T name is H2.64, while ISO name is MPEG-4 or Advanced Video Coding, which is part 10 of MPEG-4 standard. That is why this 410 and this H2.64 are equivalent because it is jointly developed by ITU and ISO, and they have ITU had given this name and ISO had given this name. And MPEG 4 instead of or anyway, the transform coding is used, and wavelets are used in MPEG 4 instead of DCP. Wavelets are used. We had seen that we have just come across this point, and this MPEG 4 supports interlaced scanning as well, which is not supported by MPEG 1, 2, etc. MPEG 1, MPEG 1. MPEG 2 supports interlaced scanning. MPEG 4 is advanced version of MPEG 2, and it supports the transform is wavelet based. So basically MPEG 1 and 2, and how is it different from MPEG, how is MPEG 4 different from MPEG 1 and 2? That is what I want to just point out the concepts only, not actual implementation of MPEG 4. So this MPEG 1 and 2, although this MPEG 2 supports interlaced scanning when compared to MPEG 1, both however are pixel based representation of the content. So we are looking at pixels, scanning pixels, and everything is based on pixels. Representation is based on pixels. So pixel-based representation of content takes place at the endpoint. So there are some deficiencies in this approach. So basically, searching based on content, content manipulation, editing, all these requires a different approach rather than this pixel-based representation. Suppose you have an image, you just want to change the date stamp or turn off current score in a visual in a game, or all these, we need a different approach. So that is supported by this MPEG 4. So need a support manipulation and interaction if video is aware of its own content. So it basically a different approach is used in MPEG 4. And when I talked about MPEG 2, I didn't talk much about it. Only the point is it is having it supports interlaced scanning, which is not there in MPEG 1. And in addition, one more thing which we need to be aware of is that there are different levels in MPEG 2. One is low, main, high, high. So here the number of lines, etc., and resolutions are varied. So there are different levels, 4 levels. So they define the resolution of the picture. So resolution of the picture can be low or high, or one among these 4. So the source information format is one format, to HDTV format. So they have different resolutions. So the MPEG 2 supports different levels, as well as there are different profiles. The 5 profiles are there. So we had seen I, P, and B pictures, So INP in some profile, IPB in various ratios. So the compression tools and compression ratio are fixed on based on these profiles. So some may have the simple one, only INP pictures. That can be IPB with different sampling rates, etc. And levels can be of different resolution. So there are various formats of MPEG-2. So one among the 4 levels and one among the 5 profiles can be chosen depending on the resolution we need and depending on the compression. So and according to our required quality, we can choose any of these levels and any of these profiles. So that option is there in MPEG-2. We are not going into much detail in this. Only a small section is allocated for this. So MPEG-4, I told MPEG-4 is different from a pixel-based representation. One minute. Okay, MPEG-4, it supports object-based features for content. So that is the difference from of MPEG-4 from MPEG-1 and 2, which are pixel-based. So it comes with a lot of advantages. So enable dynamic rendering of the content. So we can have much flexibility using this this approach, object-based approach. So it supports convergence among digital video, synthetic environments, and internet. Synthetic means there would be natural video. Synthetic means which is generated by computer. The audio from a text you can generate an audio by a computer. That is the synthetic one, which is different from the natural one. The entire scene in this MPEG-4 is decomposed into objects, and this is one method is doing segmentation. That is the most difficult task. So you can decompose a scene into multiple objects. So this is object based. MPEG-4 is object based, and each object is specified by its shape, motion, and texture. Shape, motion, and texture. Shape and texture both changes in time, specified by motion. So we view the scene as composed of multiple objects in MPEG-4. So one tool is segmentation to identify the objects. So MPEG-4 uses an object-based representation model. A scene is represented, coded, and manipulated as individual audio-visual objects. Audio-visual objects. Now you can see a hierarchy in MPEG-4. A video session. A video session in MPEG-4 is a collection of one or more video objects. Objects can be audio as well as video. So objects can be an audio object or a video object. So a video session is a collection of video objects. Video object is an entity that a user is allowed to access. Seek and browse. Video object a user can seek and browse and manipulate as well. Cut and paste. It can be simple rectangular frame. It need not be rectangular. It can be an arbitrarily shaped of, say, a person, head of a person, a tennis player. So this can be object which need not be rectangular. A video object can consist of one or more video object layers. Video object can consist of one or more video object layers. These are the different hierarchies. And video object layer consists of video object planes. So these are the different hierarchies. Video object plane grouped together as a group of group of pictures. You have group of video object planes. So basically, there is a hierarchy in video sequence. In an object-based representation, which is the approach of MPEG-4. Object-based layered syntactic structure. This is the structure. The video session consists of video objects, and object has many layers and planes, and like this we divide. And object-based representation is maybe already available or generated with some technology or using segmentation techniques. We are able to identify objects using some technique. So that is the approach of MPEG-4, coded representation of media objects. MPEG-4 audio-visual scenes are composed of several media objects organized in a hierarchical fashion. So this is the summing up of everything. Audio as well. Audio also you have objects. Audio-visual scenes are composed of several media objects organized in a hierarchical fashion. So at the leaves of the hierarchy, we find primitive media objects such as still image, maybe a fixed background is an object, video object, a talking person is another object, which is video object, and it can be without a background, and the background can be another object, and audio can be another object. Video voice associated with the person can be an object. MPEG-4 standardizes a number of such primitive media objects capable of representing both natural and synthetic content types. So both natural means when I am talking it is natural, and when it is generated by a computer it becomes synthetic. So both are supported, which can be either 2 or 3 dimensions. Video can be 2 or 3 dimensions. So generally what you see is a scene is composed of objects. So the 3D different objects are there. So you decompose into a lot of objects, and you can do editing, you can do manipulations, and there is a flexibility in doing all these things in MPEG-4. So audio visual scene generally are collection of audio visual objects, are collection of audio visual objects. So you decompose everything into different objects. Could be audio objects as well as video objects. So that is the basic philosophy in MPEG-4. MPEG-4 characteristic and application. One is it supports content-based interactivity. It has improved coding efficiency, and universal access means it can be accessed not just our TV, it can be accessed through mobile. So all this universal access is supported, improved efficiency, and content-based interactivity. So video games, all these things, multimedia database. So improved coding efficiency and coding of multiple concurrent data streams, coding and representing video objects rather than video frames enables content-based application like gaming, etc. You don't go for scanning at a pixel level, etc. You represent as objects. Robustness in error-prone environment allow content to be accessible even over wide range of media such as mobile networks as well, not just limited to a TV device. This can be accessed to a mobile. So these are certain characteristics of MPEG-4. So you have a scene, you just decompose it into many logical structures. So there could be furniture, 2D background, person, voice. This is a background. So all this is globe dust. So how you basically identify all these logical structure objects in the scene, and we don't go into the details of all these things. These are just the uh, concepts in MPEG-4. How you view this audio visual scene, so that see, when I am talking, I am not always there's no need to transmit my figure 50 frames per second for half an hour and 60 seconds per minute and 30 minutes class or something like that. You need not do always that thing. So that can be controlled if you have background as well as movement or something like that. Say, suppose you have a background like this. You have a object, so this person is moving, and maybe this background you can superimpose this and have this, and many such manipulations are possible with such an object-based approach. Say even at the decoder, say suppose at the decoder you have this, these are all differentiated, and you have all these in your things, and you have this is a video object plane and object layer one, and you can just uh, plug in here and this, and you can convert into this one. So all these manipulations and editing and all flexibility is there when you have this object-based approach. So that is what is about MPEG-4. So basically, it uses a object-based representation of the representation model, and it has a hierarchical layers. And so object is specified by shape, motion, and texture, and scene is decomposed into multiple objects, maybe perhaps by segmentation or some other tool. So that is how the approach in MPEG-4, object-based representation. And there's profiles are also there. It's very complex. We don't go into it. Okay, so basically we have MPEG 1, 2, and the 2 supports this interlace scanning. 1 doesn't support that. And MPEG 4 is not pixel-based representation. It is object-based representation. And in addition, we haven't talked about this audio. There is audio also. So like in images or video, we exploit the limitation of human eye. In audio, we correspondingly we exploit limitation of human ear. So only that much of information is to be encoded as much as that can be perceived by human ear. So we will do that, we will exploit that without degrading in perceptible way the quality of the sound to be reproduced. So by retaining the maximum quality uh, within the limitation of human ear, how much human ear can uh, respond just by looking at the response of human ear. So the sensitivity of human ear, if you plot in dB versus frequency, so in some range you have maximum sensitivity here between this range 1 to 5 kilohertz. So this is sensitivity of the ear as a function of frequency. So the signal A, even at a very low dB level, is audible in this frequency. The signal A is audible at a very low threshold itself, very low sensitivity. So even very low dB level. So this is maximum between 1 to 5 kilohertz. So this coding process is by dividing frequency band into 32 subbands of equal width by filter band. Output signal from a subband filter corresponding to a duration of 32 PCM samples is called subband sample. So basically, this is the principle of audio coding. You have divide frequency band into 32 subbands using filters, and you convert to digital, the digital samples. So again, you have some model here, and that model is a acoustical model. Psychoacoustical model allows elimination of subband signal below perception threshold, not heard by the listener. So based on this model, whatever will not be heard by the listener, that can be eliminated. So you use this model, and we'll see some 3 models. just what are those models only. And frequency region where the air is more sensitive, quantified with more accuracy than other regions. So based on the sensitivity between 1 to 5 kilohertz, you have more sensitive quantization with more accuracy than other regions. And we use a model so that we can eliminate subband signal below some perception threshold. It may not be heard by the listener. So you have a model here. You have a filter bank and this quantization, and this is the audio stream which is controlled by a box. This is the audio encoder and corresponding decoder. This quantization invoice is and multiplexer comes here and the filter bank comes here. So this is just the block and a side. This acoustic model. This can be various versions, and this will eliminate uh, unnecessary details which will not be heard by the ear. Below a threshold, there is no need of keeping all these data which are not sensitive or which are not heard by the listener ultimately. So the audio layers, MPEG audio layers, MPEG audio standard defines three coding layers which offer very different compression rates for a given perceived audio quality. So there are three layers. One is a layer one or free music app. This is the name used for this layer, which uses a specific algorithm, precision adaptive subband coding. Developed by Philips Forest, a DCC signal digital audio cassette. So this one is this algorithm, precision adaptive subband coding. The psychoacoustical model used is known as model 1. So this model, there are three models, 1, 2 and 3. So model 1 is there. So this is based on this algorithm. And layer 2, this is the main mode used in digital video broadcasting system and uses algorithm known as MusicCam, which was developed for European digital audio broadcasting. Layer 2 requires 30 to 50% smaller bitrate than layer 1. So this algorithm permits more compression, or it uses smaller bitrate than layer 1 at the expense of moderate increase in complexity. So that's the trade-off, moderate increase in complexity for the encoder and decoder. The psychoacoustic model is same as for layer 1. Algorithm is different for us. The algorithm is different. And the layer 3 MP3 format use different psychoacoustics models do as Huffman coding and DCP based signal based analysis instead of subband coding used in layers 1 and 2. So layer 1 and 2 uses subband coding. However, in layer 3, they use DCT based Huffman coding and DCT based signal analysis. And compression layer achievable with layer 3 is approximately twice as high with layer 2. But the encoder and decoder are substantially more complex and encoding decoding time is much longer. Both encoder and decoder are more complex and the coding and decoding time is longer in this format. So DVB digital TV standard allow use of layer 1 and 2 of MPEG-1 module. So these are the different audio layers, MPEG audio layers, and it is based on a model which eliminates signal below perception threshold. And we basically exploit the limitations of human ear in MPEG audio and without deteriorating in a perceptible way the quality of sound to be reproduced. And MPEG 4 we have seen. And then we need to come to the other portion, which is the modulation. So we need to come to modulation. I think we will start the concept and then we'll continue the remaining portion in the next class. So modulation means I told in an earlier class there is source coding and channel coding. Source coding means our MPEG, JPEG. All these things are source coding. You are reducing the rate. And channel coding is you are adding additional bits to overcome the errors. So we do scrambling. Scrambling means to have diversity so that you change the sequence of ordering and then you descramble it so that nearby samples are not affected when you change the sequence, and you do descrambling as a result. And after source coding, you do scrambling and then channel coding. Now the data stream is ready for modulating a carrier. The data stream means the terminology we had used is an elementary stream. From MPEG, we generate an elementary stream. So that is ready for modulating the carrier. Now we need to modulate a carrier, and depending on the medium, so the medium can be satellite, cable or terrestrial. The modulation methods will be different. So the depending on the characteristics of the medium. So we will chart that next class.